Welcome to Introducing Constraints in Xcode 9. In this video we will cover how to align constraints and also pin constraints. First, let's go to our main storyboard and select our container view and pin that to all of the edges. So we can put in zeros for all of the edges and tab through, and notice that it highlights these red bars for us. That just says that the constraint will be active. We will do the other UI view and put that 0 on top, left, right, and bottom, and make sure the constrain the margins is unchecked. Next, we will go over to our entry list storyboard, and we will do the same thing for our table view. We will constrain it to 0 for the top, 0 for the left, right, and bottom. The left and right are also known as leading and trailing edges. With the constrain the margins unchecked, we can see that the edge goes all the way to the edge of the screen. If we check constrain the margins, it will put an 8-point margin at the top, right, bottom, and left. When we're in landscape orientation, we can see that it now takes up the full screen. If we go to our create entry, we have a lot more views to auto constraint now for auto layout. We have our color views, we have our title text field, our body text view, our buttons. We normally want to start from the top. So we will constrain our text field 20 at the top, 12 at the left and right, and make sure constrain the margins is unchecked. We're going to leave this bottom one empty because we want to leave all the space underneath of it to be able to constrain other things. In our case, we're going to want this body to be able to grow and shrink depending on the screen height. So with body text view selected, we can control drag up to our enter text field and select vertical spacing, and that's another way to add a constraint. And if we control drag to the left or the right, we can highlight our super view and do leading and trailing constraints. The reason they're called leading and trailing is because in different countries, for countries that read from right to left, that leading will be the right edge instead of the left edge. For our color view, we can control drag up to our body, or we can control drag down to the add a tag. In our case, we want to constrain this bottom third of the screen, so our save tag, or our save button, our add a tag button, and our color views to the bottom, because we want that body to be able to expand. So we're going to add constraints for the save and add a tag. We will constrain them horizontally to be able to be in the center of our view, and then we will do vertical spacing from the bottom edge. And we will do the same for this color view, constraining it to add a tag button and centering it horizontally. And we're also going to want to constrain the height and the width to be 44 points. And we want to do that with all the color views, so we can select multiple color views at the same time, and then we can add the constraints in one shot to all of these color views. See how it says add 12 constraints. So now we need to constrain these color views to the center color view. So we'll do horizontal spacing to be able to keep that small gap between each of the color views. We will do the same for the color views on the left. So we have a few errors here, and we will take a look in the next video how we can resolve these errors, but we can see that the content view is missing some constraints. We had some errors come up in this video, so in the next video we will take a look at troubleshooting constraints.